Are you ready to learn some science? I hope so, because this topic is a great one. It's cellular respiration. We're not talking breathing, we're talking about energy. So let's get to it. Cellular respiration. Okay, but before we head into the topic of cellular respiration, let's do a little review. Remember, photosynthesis is happening in the chloroplast. Remember, with the chlorophyll inside, the one that loves red and blue light, that reflects green light, that is the light absorber so we can break water. Totally amazing. What do plants produce during this process of photosynthesis? Remember, they produce glucose and oxygen. And what do plants need to be able to do photosynthesis? They need three things: carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water. So why is photosynthesis important to us? Well, since we're heterotrophic, remember that's a big word that means other nutrition. We get our food from other things. Also, heterotrophs are called consumers. Back to it. Since we're heterotrophic, we cannot make our own food. So we get our food from plants. Even if we're eating animals, so we're eating chicken or we're eating beef, that came from organisms that were then eating plants, or those ones ate plants, but it all goes back to plants. Okay, so once the energy from sunlight is changed into chemical energy in photosynthesis, so we change light energy into chemical energy, and we store that chemical energy in glucose. So here's glucose, it's like a storage factory of energy. So once that energy from sunlight is changed into chemical energy in photosynthesis, we can get that energy out of glucose and into a form we can use. And that happens in a process called cellular respiration. So light energy from the sun is transformed into chemical energy stored in glucose, and then we're going to get that energy out of glucose into a form that cells can use in a process called cellular respiration. So here we go. Cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Okay, so let's look at both of them. So photosynthesis is occurring in a chloroplast, remember. Okay, what's coming in? Light energy, right? Breaking water, okay? But we also need carbon dioxide. So we need water and carbon dioxide and light. And what comes out of photosynthesis? Glucose and oxygen. And here's the amazing part. It then cycles, and then cellular respiration happens in a mitochondria. The oxygen goes in, the glucose goes in, and water and carbon dioxide come out, as well as energy. So it's this cycle over and over again. Now, here's the cool thing. Cellular respiration is happening in plants too. It's happening in every single cell that has a mitochondria. Okay? But photosynthesis can only happen in plants. They need a chloroplast. But if a cell has a mitochondria, it goes through respiration. So that means plant cells and animal cells. So what is cellular respiration again? It's a process that releases energy by breaking down food molecules, usually glucose, and produces energy, or ATP. Want to know what ATP stands for? Adenosine triphosphate. Whoa. ATP, way easier to remember. And ATP is like the energy that cells can use. It's what they're able to actually use. Although glucose has energy in it, it's like having it in the bank and you can't spend it. You need to get it out. So cells need to change that energy into ATP so they can use it. So just like photosynthesis occurred in two processes, cellular respiration occurs in two separate steps. And it occurs first in the cytoplasm. So any cell that has a cytoplasm can do this part. So that's all cells. So every single cell can do this part. No oxygen needed. All you do is you take glucose and basically we split it in half and we get a little bit of energy. So if a cell only has a cytoplasm and no mitochondria, that's all they can do, which is why those type of cells, which are called prokaryotic, why they usually tend to be extra tiny, because they can't produce enough energy to make a bigger cell. So any cell with a cytoplasm can do the first step. The second step happens in the mitochondria. So that's in a cell that's called eukaryotic, meaning they have organelles, EU, eukaryotic. And so if a cell has a mitochondria, it can do cellular respiration. But in this step, we need oxygen. And what happens is it breaks down the molecules from the first step even further. So smaller and smaller and smaller. And at the end gets a whole lot of energy, like way more than the first step. So eukaryotic cells get much bigger because they have a mitochondria to produce way more energy in this process of cellular respiration. Okay, now some other words. Okay, aerobic and anaerobic. Okay, aerobic means requires oxygen. Anaerobic means does not require oxygen. So here's what happens. Glucose comes into the cell, and glucose is broken into smaller molecules. Remember, in the cytoplasm, okay? A little bit of energy, but all good. When there is oxygen present, we go through aerobic respiration in the mitochondria. This is a mitochondria, and produce lots of ATP. Perfect. But when there's no oxygen or not enough oxygen, what happens is we go through anaerobic respiration. In our muscle cells, we go through a process called lactic acid fermentation. Okay, so why would that happen? So think about when you're exercising and you're breathing in and you start to exercise more and you breathe faster. Well, your body is trying to bring in enough oxygen in order for your muscles to be able to produce enough energy. But you can only breathe so fast. Eventually, you won't be able to provide enough energy and your muscle cells will switch to lactic acid fermentation in order to produce some energy. It doesn't produce as much as if you were doing it aerobically, okay? Now, and that's lactic acid fermentation. There's another kind of fermentation, and that's called alcoholic fermentation, okay? And that happens in yeast and other bacteria that are single-celled, and it helps to produce some really great things, like if you're a grown-up, wine and beer. But if you're not a grown-up, you might like bread. It's what makes bread rise. It also helps us make yogurt and other foods that use yeast or bacteria to produce alcoholic fermentation. Okay? So here's our cell respiration formula. We have glucose, we have oxygen, we have carbon dioxide, we have water, and we have energy. Not sunlight, it's ATP. Well, does this equation remind you of anything? It should. It's the photosynthesis equation flipped. Okay, so same ingredients. It's just the order is flipped. So this side is called reactants. That means what you start with. And this is the yield sign or arrow. And this side is the products or what you end up with. So in respiration, you have reactants and you have products. In photosynthesis, they're just swapped. So the reactants become the products and the products become the reactants. So you really only have to remember one equation and then do this flip, and then you know both of them. That's pretty cool. And there you have it, cellular respiration, this process through which all cells need to get energy. Remember, any cell with cytoplasm can perform the first step, which produces a little bit of ATP, which means those cells have to stay little. And any cell with a mitochondria, a plant, an animal cell, doesn't matter. Any cell with a mitochondria can go through the second step where you need oxygen and get a lot more ATP. Cellular respiration, it's pretty amazing.